New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
All right, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast an unidentified man from Winter Haven, Florida. The 27-year-old man, along with a female companion, they stole a red pickup truck from a supermarket parking lot. Well, a short time later, he and his companion, they went into a tire store and attempted to steal money. When they were told that there was no money, that's when our honoree opened a duffel bag, pulled out a rifle, and actually aimed it at the poor guy that's working there. The only reason he left is because a customer came in. He hops back in his truck. He pulls off. Well, cops spotted them. They gave chase. They tried the spike strips to slow it down, but this guy, he is in it to win it. Finally, a bunch of cop cars, they managed to box them in. Well, they're still not going to get out of the car at this point, so that's when our honoree stood up through the sunroof holding a rifle in one hand. What did he have in the other hand, Ted? If you guessed a bottle of Busch Light,
wow. And you got a bottle.
A bottle.
I mean, not a can.
Right, not a can.
Not a 30-pack.
But here's the problem.
It's got a Busch Latte.
That bottle, that comes into play in this particular story because he was in that kind of mood. So he's yelling at the cops. Cops will then just put down your weapons, all this kind of thing. So to prove what kind of man he was, he smashed that Busch Light bottle over his own forehead. The problem was that an officer that was behind him did not know that it was a bottle. He heard the glass shatter, thought the honoree had opened fire on his fellow officers, so he shot him in the neck and dropped this fool right back in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
He was taken to a little local hospital. He's expected to make a full recovery. Yeah, so the guy behind him does not know he has a bottle. He hears that sound, open, one shot. One shot was fired, hit him in the neck and dropped him. And like it was a bottle of Busch Light. Not worth it in the end, homie. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Peyton. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Peyton, you understand how this here game is played?
Drugs.
Drugs it shall be. All right. All right, we go to Beaumont, Texas, where a 20-year-old man was arrested on Valentine's Day after police found drugs and guns in a hotel room. Now, he was arrested after the Beaumont Police Department received a call for a trespasser with a gun in a room at the Midtown Inn. The caller told dispatchers that the trespasser was taking things that did not belong to him, or in layman's terms, he was stealing. The officers located the trespasser in a room and identified him, determined that the man also had a warrant for his arrest for possession of a controlled substance. The 20-year-old man was arrested. Officers located a stolen gun in his waistband. Now, according to the police report, officers observed narcotics and a shotgun in plain view inside of the room. Narcotics investigators were called to the scene to handle the investigation. They seized approximately 61 grams of one drug, 6 ounces of something else. They found another drug, and yet another drug, as well as 2 firearms.
So is this which drug did he not have?
That is correct. He was interviewed, taken to jail. Anyway, what drug did he not have on him? Because this is a one-man party.
Sound like DJ Khaled over there.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Did he not have meth, cocaine, crack, or Xanax? So meth, coke, crack, or Xanax, one of those he did not have on him.
I'm curious what Miles thinks.
Peyton, I'm going to go That he did not have
That he
crack,
did not have it.
crack cocaine. He did not have in his possession. It's Texas.
Yeah.
Just think meth's going to be there.
See, I think he has. I don't think he has powdered coke. He's got crack. He's got meth. And he's got Xanax. He doesn't have the good stuff.
You're saying no to cocaine.
No cocaine. Yeah.
All right, Peyton, what do you think?
I don't know why, but I'll just go Xanax.
You want Xanax?
Ted, you said coke, right?
I said coke.
Okay, we're going to find out what he did not have. Meth, cocaine, crack, or Xanax next.
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories drugs on profile. This a Texas man arrested after drugs and guns were found in his hotel room. Unfortunately for him, had an active warrant for his arrest. That didn't help. But he had a slew of drugs in there. Question is today, what drug did he not have in his hotel room? Was it meth, cocaine, crack, or Xanax?
And that is the very question that we asked you, Peyton. And you went with Xanax. No, my friend had Xanax.
Yeah.
Wrong button. Sorry. Yeah, he had the Xanax. He's going to have that party. Ted Smith, you went cocaine?
I did.
He also had the powder cocaine. And Miles, you went crack?
I went crack.
That's the one he does not have.
Correct.
You are correct.
I think you have meth and coke and not crack any of it up.
That's what makes it so hard. So this is what the guy had. Let's see here. He all right, so investigators seized approximately 61 grams of meth, 6 ounces of marijuana. He had cocaine, he had heroin, he had Xanax, as well as 2 firearms.
Good times.
All the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Mr. Maher.
The Jimmies.
Okay, Fallon and Kimmel.
Weekend Update.
SNL.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the title. These guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Researchers have observed a nearly 60-foot tall rogue wave off the coast of British Columbia, which is the largest ever recorded. Researchers believe it was created when Yo Mama fell off the boat.
That's got to be SNL.
Yeah. Weekend Update.
That's Weekend Update.
Researchers have observed a nearly 60-foot-tall rogue wave off the coast of British Columbia, which is the largest ever recorded. Researchers believe the wave was generated when Yo Mama fell overboard.
Reports are that Kim Kardashian is very fed up with the antics of her estranged husband, Kanye West. And I'm speaking for all of us here, Kim. We're all tired of Kanye.
Me, Ted Smith.
Bill Maher.
Smith?
Well, you know it wasn't going to be a SNL joke. Well, you're trying to back off of Kanye a little bit at this point, right? You know?
That doesn't matter to them.
Are they?
I don't know.
I wouldn't
just
think so.
assume they would.
Oh, because Pete Davidson works there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still. I think that's all the more reason to take shots.
There's a war happening in Eastern Europe right now, and even the Taliban is pushing for a peaceful resolution. Sounds like somebody's been working on themselves during the pandemic, doesn't it?
Bill Maher.
Yeah, is that Bill Maher?
Kimmel.
There's a war happening in Eastern Europe right now. Even the Taliban is pushing for a peaceful resolution. Sounds like somebody's been working on themselves during the pandemic, doesn't it?
Many analysts were surprised when Putin went through with the invasion, even though it was going to be a colossal mistake, but he couldn't back down after all that buildup. Kind of like how NBC had to go through with airing the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
That's SNL.
Many analysts were surprised Putin went through with the invasion, even though it was obviously going to be a colossal mistake. But he couldn't back down after all that buildup. Kind of like how NBC still had to go through with airing the Winter Olympics.
I always wonder about that. You're one of the people on NBC. Like, you got preempted for everything. And SNL, like, right, they're always kind of famous for coming back in, like, mid-January or something?
Yeah.
But it's like, did they just get 2 extra weeks off because the Olympics were on 2 Saturdays
Seems
in a
like
row?
everybody. You get it off. It's whether or not you get paid, right? I mean,
there's a good call.
You know, like the late Seth Meyers, like, yeah, I was off for 2 weeks, but they pay me, so cool. Yeah. SNL, I'm sure the major cast members do, but I wonder if I'm a writer, not one of the prominent writers, just the one, spitballing, do I get paid for the time? Because it's once every 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of interesting, right? Because it's not like they don't want to work, but they're just, their show's not on.
Right.
So you can't. I would imagine most of them, though, probably are still doing stand-up and everything in the New York City area.
That is a very good point, yes.
So, let's see. Oscars, are they overrated? Well, according to a one-poll survey, out of 1,000 people, 3/4 of them said, no, I'm still going to watch it this year. Which is kind of what we've been saying all the time. Like, sure, the ratings are down for the Oscars. That doesn't mean people aren't watching.
Right. They're
like
down for the Oscars.
Yeah, it's like a lot of sports leagues you'll see sometimes. Like, their ratings, like, yeah.
And a lot of times, whether you might not know all the movies that have been nominated or whatever, but if one wins, it's available right now.
That's a good point.
So typically you can, if you're interested, you can watch it.
That's a very good point. Right. I mean, that's how much technology's changed. You can actually watch that stuff pretty much on demand anytime you want. And I don't mean...
I mean, if some movie...
You have on demand, I just mean like on demand. You could find it somewhere, either on your demand or a streaming service or something else. But yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm still going to watch it. Let's see. The Oscars will be on Sunday, March 27th, if you want to see that. But yeah, like I'm saying, and trust me, on that Monday or Tuesday, you'll see all the stuff that's like that nobody cares. It's like, right, but they'll just be down for the Oscars.
Right, it's the same freaking story every year.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Just like, we get it. Did it win the night? Because in the end, that's all the network and the advertisers care about.
Correct. I was actually on the road last night. Lovely conditions.
I bet.
Woof. So much fun. I did not watch the Sounders match. I'd watched the Champions League the other day, but they opened up the season. Yeah. They lost. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I mean, for what I could tell, just kind of watching it like on a phone in a car, but it's like, yeah, like this is a miserable night. Nashville has a very good defense, but it just wasn't very exciting.
No, not at all.
I was like, I started watching the second half. I was like, have we even had a shot on goal yet? So I'm sure. Look, also, with Smetzer, I feel like his teams always kind of peak as you get later in the season. But yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about that because it's, like I said, just a bad night. Nobody wanted to be out there.
Are they playing? Is Nashville playing in the West?
Yes, this is their first season playing in the West.
I thought I read that. I was like, am I reading that right? That
is weird, right? Because it's like, man, Tennessee is not anywhere near the West.
Nope.
All right. See, everybody, whether you're famous in one genre for something, right? So maybe you're a musician, you're still going to have TV shows or movies you love.
Of course.
So what I got here is a list of celebrity guest appearances on TV shows that were kind of weird. Let's start with the weirdest one ever. Taylor Swift. She once played herself on New Girl. Do you know who else did?
No.
Wasn't that Prince?
Prince?
Apparently, he loved New Girl. Huh. Was one of his favorite shows.
I would not have guessed that.
I want to be on that show.
Yeah, but it's like, if you're Prince and you call up and say, hey, I want to do this, they're like,
done. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but him and Taylor Swift both play themselves on there. Britney Spears, always a fan favorite of a lot of people's. Mine.
For reasons.
Right. All right. She played herself on Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin.
Yeah. That was a very popular show for a while. It's about a girl named Jane, who I believe was a virgin.
Didn't go out much.
Larry David and John Cena, they played themselves on Hannah Montana.
Huh.
Yeah.
Larry David. I mean, I can see John Cena coming from wrestling, but like Larry David, I can't imagine kids watching Hannah Montana like, who's the old whiny guy?
Yeah, I wonder sometimes too, because we're so used to Miley Cyrus now being so
Miley Cyrus
in her own world. But I'm like, with Hannah Montana, I wonder if that you think maybe they knew Billy Ray Cyrus and were like, oh yeah, let's
what? Yeah.
This is
it could be that his daughter Cassie is a fan of the show, and when she was a kid, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to go to the show and surprise her or whatever.
Yeah. But you know what? They should be kind of weird because that's what this whole list is about.
You know, this guy got to stop making that comment. Really?
Right? Like, all right, Full House. They had on the Beach Boys.
Really?
But that makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense, right? Stamos is like a massive Beach Boys guy.
He will. He will stand in and play drums with them. He can do.
Oh yeah,
of course he can do the entire show. But they normally bring him out for like 2 or 3 songs if it's an LA type show.
Bradley Cooper can spin French. Stamos can play drums. Freaking annoying.
Well, that was kind of one of the things, if you ever watched Full House back in the day, was that Uncle Jesse was always in a band. And he was like the cool guy. But yeah, I mean, he obviously plays instruments. But yeah, he's like the, trying to think of a comparison, but he's like an honorary member of the Beach Boys.
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Yeah. Whereas like John Mayer now, like he's the singer of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He got a gig.
Right. It's not like he's just kind of out there like.
But he eats less yogurt than Stamos. You don't remember Stamos was slinging, is it Oikos? I don't know, one of those Greek yogurts.
Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't. That's why Mike and I both had this look of like, dang, I don't know.
Yes, he's the spokesman for one of the yogurts out there. I don't know.
I thought he just pulled a really deep Full House reference.
Right, I was back in my brain. I'm like, did Uncle Jesse eat a lot of yogurt?
Take a yogurt bath with a girl.
A yogurt bath.
He was always telling the whole family about how important your gut health is. That was the actual point of Full House.
Yeah, take a stool sample and they'll let you know.
Let's see what else we got here. Kim and Khloe Kardashian, they played themselves on 90210.
That makes sense.
Right, it's a show based in
I wonder how young they were.
Beverly Hills. I believe 90210 might be the remake.
Oh, okay. But still, I mean, wait,
right? Because it was Beverly Hills 90210, and then this one might have just been 90210.
Oh, okay, I see what they did there.
Yeah. Well, that's like Full House. When they did the second one, it was Fuller House.
I'd have named it Full Home, but that's just me.
Yeah. One of them sturdy homes. Let's see. Steven Tyler, he dressed up as Santa Claus on Lizzie McGuire. He even sang a song.
How? That's all right. That sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like you're not Santa Claus.
Yeah, and Miles, you might be right too. I think a lot of that probably has to do with like your kids too. Like if you're Steven Tyler and one of your kids is really into Lizzie McGuire, it's like, all right, sure, I'll go.
If he was in Pirates of the Caribbean, I'd be like, yeah.
But see, they can still do that. Like my kids loved Peppa Pig. Even if I call and say, hey, my kids really love Peppa Pig, let me do a guest appearance. They'd be like, who the hell are you? Don't call this number again.
I'd be impressed if you even got that far. Like, how'd you get a number to Peppa
I think
Pig?
you'd know my role. Boy, you sound grumpy.
Steven Tyler's daughter was in that episode, too. I remember that. That was my first introduction to Steven Tyler. Like, I didn't recognize him. At the time, I didn't know who Aerosmith was. I was a kid that didn't listen to that much music, but he was fun. He was funny.
All right.
He played Santa Claus.
You talking Liv Tyler?
No, it wasn't Liv. It was a different one.
Huh.
Right, because Liv Tyler and the other daughter, right? They're both kind of famous, but I think he has other daughters.
Who's the other daughter? I know Liv Tyler. Does he have another one who's like acting or singing or something?
This one played a cameo role. They made a point on the Disney Channel to be like, hey, this is Steven Tyler's daughter. And by her acting chops, I don't think she's much of an actress. So,
damn. As a little kid, you thought that? Or as a kid, you're like, this person sucks.
It was very much childish acting, yeah.
I'm for her. She's sick. She sucks.
And it was Lizzie McGuire. I mean, was that show known for how good the acting was?
But let that speak to how bad her acting was. You're watching Lizzie McGuire and you're like, you are so bad, I notice.
Her part was poorly written, too. She just basically made a dig at her own father.
You're going to give the writers crap for Lizzie. Like, dude.
Yep.
I just love the idea that, like, 10 or 12-year-old Mike is like, this episode's crap.
She can't act.
Poorly written, poorly acted, and I don't even know who the Steven Tyler guy is.
He sings in a band, huh? Okay. Hope he does better than playing Santa.
Why is he just screaming at me?
Let's see. The Rock and Shakira, they played themselves on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wizards of Waverly.
Anytime I see The Rock do anything, he's The Rock. Like, I know he's got a name of his character, but it's kind of like Tony Danza. Doesn't matter. It's just The Rock.
How did you feel about The Rock before the Super Bowl when he came out and gave that speech?
It's The Rock. To me, it's just The Rock being The Rock.
That's what I thought, too. And then it was funny hearing all the mic'd up stuff where people were like, the players were like, what the hell's he doing here? Because I remember sitting outside, and I was like, why is The Rock giving a speech to fire everybody up? And then, 30 seconds later, the door opens, it was like, you gotta hear this. He's crushing it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I could just see his emotion. It's like, right, it's The Rock.
But I mean, even the players get excited. Like, The Super Bowl special now. Now, because the Rock's doing this.
It was pretty funny with, what's his name from Cincinnati? Say that
Burrow.
Burrow, right. He's just kind of like, I mean, like, it's cool. He's here. But, like, why?
Yeah,
right, because I think he was right before the kickoff, and they're just like, are we going to play?
So much. Because if the Rock says no, we're not playing. By the way, just a quick note, an astute listener says Steven Tyler was also an elf in the Polar Express.
Oh.
So apparently Steven Tyler's going to step outside of music. It has to be Christmas themed.
Yeah, his crap actress daughter was in that one, was she?
Yeah, she was not in.
Snooki played herself on Supernatural, but she was possessed by a demon.
Oh, my God.
Also on Supernatural, Paris Hilton played herself, but in demon form.
Come on.
So she played herself.
Yeah.
And then number one on the list of 10 celebrity guest appearances that were pretty random on TV shows. Ed Sheeran. He showed up as a Lannister soldier on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Look, I know this story. He's that big of an artist that he was like, I love this show. You've got to get me in there. And I think he's in, like, doesn't he get killed or something? I mean, it's very quick.
It's a brief moment, and because the way that show is, like, I recognize him, but not as Ed Sheeran. But it's when I'm searching, I'm like, man, I've seen this actor before. My wife's like, it's Ed Sheeran. I'm like, oh, Jesus, right. Yeah, my bad.
It's Ed Sheeran. Let's see. What are you going to watch tonight? There's a brand new episode of All American. Throw us out watching it. You should.
All right. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it.
I hear it's great.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Lucky Bastard Man hits a $10 million scratch-off ticket. This for the second time. Meanwhile, a Georgia neighborhood is invaded by a herd of escaped cows. USDA Prime. Florida man gets more than he bargained for after breaking Busch Light bottle over his head. Amazon now offers 22-piece Pilates set if you like to do Pilates with your partner and your bed. And Oregon, where a stack of clean towels explodes into flames. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
Top story. We go to our friends to the south in Eugene, Oregon, where a restaurant had to be closed for the last 3 months. This restaurant has been trying to pull itself together after being hit with a devastating fire. But what's shocking about it is what caused the fire. Just before it broke out, they had gone and washed up the towels for the next day and staged them where they belonged. But for whatever reason, they spontaneously combusted, causing all of the damage.
That's something I'd expect to happen.
That is something that you'd expect or not?
No, that is not something I would expect to happen.
I still don't quite get how it works. The static electricity, okay. But how does that then just combust into, you know what, screw it, we're going to be on fire?
I don't know, but telling the family tonight, no more towels.
That's right, we're done with towels.
You drip dry now.
Shake like the dog if you're in a hurry.
Stand near the heater, it's better.
Oh, man.
In other news, ruthless, Ted.
Stand by the heater.
I'll build you a fire. To Amazon, where you can be the fortunate purchaser of this screaming deal. For the low price of $45, you can afford their 22-piece Pilates set, which seems to come with such items as arm restraints for resistance, various straps, textured gloves, a whip, plugs, gags, a leash, all items that you need to complete your home Pilates workout. And just in case you didn't catch on, it's either labeled wrong or they just used the wrong photo because it's all BDSM bondage gear.
Like I said, if that's what you needed for Pilates, I'd be doing yoga.
The problem is that there's not a whole lot that kind of suggests that it's a screw-up. I think that this is just some sort of third-party vendor that's like, screw it, we're just going to call it a Pilates set so we can't reel in with this thing.
Turns out our English to whatever language dictionary led us in the wrong place.
That is a fact.
Oh, we thought it said pull-outies.
Oh, Jesus. No. I will say, though, just looking at what they got there, again, 22 items for $45 American.
That's like buying a toolkit for your sex life.
It is a hell of a deal.
That's a screaming deal, man.
It is.
I'm not going to lie. We rewind the clocks 3 years ago to beautiful New York, where a man was the lucky buyer of a scratch-off lottery ticket that awarded him a $10 million jackpot, of which he took the lump sum of just under $7. Now we fast forward back to today, where he purchased yet another lotto ticket from the same convenience store, from the same game, and won, you guessed it, the same $10 million prize.
It is unbelievable.
The man has the fortunate problem of not having finished spending the $10 million that he won back in 2019.
Yeah. Good for him.
They were interviewing about it, and he's laughing like, yeah, I still haven't finished spending the last $10 million. Jackass.
Yeah, if you're just a regular person, it seems like it'd be hard to spend $10 million. $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
It should be.
Well, look, there was a guy once who tried to spend $30 in a month, Mike. It's tough to do, but he did it.
Okay.
30 days, right?
Yeah. We go to Orlando, where one man learned about airport security the hard way. This one's nuts. Later, having admitted to having had a couple drinks before his flight, a video was taken by another passenger shows the man having a complete meltdown in the terminal. Screaming profanities and demands to not be touched, the man, quote, put on a show by banging on a closed terminal door before pulling it open and walking inside. He did come back out shortly afterward, this time to the waiting presence of TSA, whom he challenged and was promptly tased. He faces charges. They don't play, man. We're done with this.
Shut up.
Exactly.
We're done here.
I get it for legal reasons. You can't be like, yeah, this guy's wasted. But just like, we think he had some drinks. He just kind of is losing his ass.
Right. I wonder if, you know what, Ted? I wonder if you're right. I wonder if it's like a help me, help you. You got way too drunk at the bar and just went off. We're going to drastically reduce these charges if you just happen to have a really bad drunk episode.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And look, it's tough to do, but a lot of people have been in that spot. Sometimes you just gotta have enough wits about you to just shut up.
Right.
Like you're just making it worse.
Listen to what they say. Just sit there, shut up, and wait till the rest of the plane boards, and then maybe I'll let you on.
Was that not the challenge when you're hammered?
Just sit down and shut up.
Anymore, you're going to be put on a do not fly list. That's eventually coming.
Exactly.
You might not be able to fly on any aircraft.
I'd be surprised if he got it. People have gotten drunk and they've been belligerent. I can understand that. But the fact that the guy opened up the door, which they make a big deal about every time.
Yeah.
Once these doors close, they will not be reopened. And then if you see in the video, when he cracks it open, there is a doggone alarm that goes off. I didn't realize it makes sense, but I didn't realize that these doors are armed and ready to just set off if you open the door to that gangway.
Yeah, that's what you keep doing. Don't do it.
Right. Bad things happen when you do this. Please don't. Down to Georgia, where a woman was woken up at 3 in the morning. The ruckus was coming from her phone, specifically a notification from her Ring camera alerting her to someone at her front door. She opened up the camera to find that there was a herd of cattle that escaped a nearby dairy farm that were just roaming about her front yard. She said that they were grazing on her lawn and her topiary, poking holes in the ground and leaving plenty of pies behind, all in all fixable damage, as she calls it.
We're just here to poop on your lawn.
Eat your grass.
Thanks for the grass.
Like they hate my bushes.
How do cows get around? Why do we call them pies? I think delicious.
That's fair.
Have you tried the cow pie?
I've tried the cookie.
Is there any other animal that serves a pie? Just trying to figure that. You know, because Ted's right.
Everyone else has droppings. Some you just go poop or S.
Scat.
Droppings. Yeah, no one has a pie.
Maybe that just tells you something about the consistency of cow pie.
Or a chip.
Indeed.
Oh, it's chips. It's cow chips. That's what I'm thinking of.
And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you up next. The Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for about 180 seconds or so, and some of you actually time us. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.